Continuing Edith Hamilton's Mythology, Part 1, the gods, the creation, and the earliest heroes. And this will be divided into the Titans and the 12 great Olympians, the lesser gods of Olympus, the gods of the waters, the underworld, the lesser gods of earth, the Roman gods, the gods. Strange, clouded fragments of an ancient glory, late lingerers of the company divine, they breathe of that far world wherefrom they come, lost halls of heaven and Olympian air. The Greeks did not believe that the gods created the universe. It was the other way about. The universe created the gods. Before there were gods, heaven and earth had been formed. They were the first parents. The Titans were their children, and the gods were their grandchildren. The Titans and the 12 great Olympians. The Titans, often called the elder gods, were, for untold ages, supreme in the universe. They were of enormous size and of incredible strength. There were many of them, but only a few appear in the stories of mythology. The most important was Cronus, in Latin Saturn. He ruled over the other Titans until his son Zeus dethroned him and seized power for himself. The Romans said that when Jupiter, their name for Zeus, ascended the throne, Saturn fled to Italy and brought in the Golden Age, a time of perfect peace and happiness, which lasted as long as he reigned. The other notable Titans were Ocean, the river that was supposed to encircle the earth, his wife, Tethys, Hyperion, the father of the sun, the moon and the dawn, Mnemosyne, which means memory, Themis, usually translated by justice, and Iapetus, important because of his sons, Atlas, who bore the world on his shoulders, and Prometheus, who was the savior of mankind. These alone among the older gods were not banished with the coming of Zeus, but they took a lower place. The 12 great Olympians were supreme among the gods who succeeded the Titans. They were called the Olympians because Olympus was their home. What Olympus was, however, is not easy to say. There's no doubt that at first it was held to be a mountain top and generally identified with Greece's highest mountain, Mount Olympus, in Thessaly, in the northeast of Greece. But even in the earliest Greek poem, the Iliad, this idea is beginning to give way to the idea of an Olympus in some mysterious region far above all the mountains of the earth. In one passage of the Iliad, Zeus talks to the gods from the topmost peak of many rigid Olympus, clearly a mountain, but only a little further on he says that if he willed, he could hang earth and sea from a pinnacle of Olympus, clearly no longer a mountain. Even so, it is not heaven. Homer makes Poseidon say that he rules the sea, Hades the dead, Zeus the heavens, but Olympus is common to all three. Now, we could say that what's conveyed in the myth is that the attachment to the natural, what was before the creation of the heavens and the earth happened before the worship of the heavens and the earth as deities, and then, you know, then deities of lesser items than that were worshipped. Well, not lesser, because obviously the sun's more important than the earth, and you know, to that degree. But you know, less broad, if in a way of speaking. Whatever it was, the entrance to it was a great gate of clouds kept by the seasons. Within were the gods' dwelling, where they lived and slept and feasted on ambrosia and nectar and listened to Apollo's lyre. It was an abode of perfect blessedness, no wind, Homer says, ever shakes. The untroubled peace of Olympus. No rain ever falls there, or snow, but the cloudless firmament stretches around it on all sides, and the white glory of sunshine is diffused upon its walls. The 12 Olympians made up what was considered to be a divine family. And before we go on, you know, there's this guy with his thunderbolts going like this, and, you know, his arrows in the other hand, and of course, except for his sash, he's naked, right? The 12 Olympians made up, as it were, a divine family. Zeus, or Jupiter, the chief, and his two brothers next, Poseidon, Neptune, and Hades, also called Pluto. Hestia, or Vesta, their sister. Hera, Juno, Zeus's wife, and Ares, or Mars, their son. Zeus's children, Athena, or Minerva, Apollo, Aphrodite, or Venus, Hermes, or Mercury, and Artemis, or Diana, and Hera's son, Hephaestus, or Vulcan, sometimes said to be the son of Zeus too. And Olympus is portrayed kind of like some sort of ziggurat on some almost impossible spire of a mountain peak, with Pegasus flying around, right? So, Zeus, or Jupiter. Diospiter, or Zeus, wasn't always considered in personified form, but Zeus and his brothers drew lots for their share of the universe. The sea fell to Poseidon, and the underworld to Hades. Zeus became the supreme ruler. He was the lord of the sky and the rain god and the cloud gatherer, you know, kind of like the Baal of the northern Semites, right? Baal Hadad, who wielded the awful thunderbolt. His power is greater than that of all other divinities together. In the Iliad, he tells his family, I am mightiest of all. Make trial that you may know. Fasten a rope of gold to heaven, and lay hold every god and goddess. You could not drag down Zeus, but if I wished to drag you down, then I would. The rope I would bind to a pinnacle of Olympus, and all would hang in air, yes, the very earth, and the sea too.